Schrietmacher presenteert ook een voorstelling uit België, Lamenta, van het duo Koen, Augustijnen en Rosalba, Torres, Guerrero. Zij leiden samen het gezelschap Siamese Si en dat staat eigenlijk voor een verenigd gezelschap met een soort Siamese verbinding. Koen Augustijnen kun je misschien kennen van het werk van Le Ballet C'est de l'abbé van Alain Patel. Daar heeft hij jarenlang bij gedanst en gechoreografeerd. En Rosalba danste 9 jaar bij Rosas van Anne-Theresa de Keersmaker. Augustijnen begon eigenlijk met het studeren van geschiedenis in Gent, maar via theaterworkshops bij grootheden als Wim van de Keijbus, Suzanne Linke, David Zambrano en Alain Patel kwam hij in de dans terecht en vond zijn huis bij Le Ballet C'est de l'abbé. En daar leerde hij ook choreograferen en dat heeft hij tot 2013 gedaan. Rosalba volgde haar dansopleiding in Genève, waar ze is geboren, ging naar Frankrijk, maakte furoren in het werk van bijvoorbeeld Philippe Decouflé en maakte een uitstapje naar het danstheater in Duitsland om uiteindelijk via Frankrijk bij Rosas terecht te komen. En daar heeft ze gedanst in grote internationale toppers zoals bijvoorbeeld Drumming, Rain, Love Supreme en Raga for a Rainy Season. Samen hebben ze dus die Siamese Si opgericht omdat ze veel meer aandacht wilden vragen voor diversiteit. Ze wilden diversiteit ook echt vieren, dus ze laten zich heel erg beïnvloeden door allerlei verschillende culturen. En dan vooral ook culturen die gegrond zijn in volkstradities. Dus in al hun voorstellingen komen dansers uit allerlei landen voor. En die brengen dan hun eigen cultuur mee en dat zetten ze om in een soort hedendaagse choreografie. In Lamenta gaan ze bijvoorbeeld op zoek naar rouwrituelen. En ze werken daar met Griekse dansers die vertrouwd zijn met Griekse klaagliederen. De traditie die daar heel sterk heerst om bij afscheid klaagliederen te zingen. En dat kan net zo goed zijn bij een begrafenis, bij een bruiloft, als wanneer iemand emigreert. We vroegen Koen en Rosalba na hun samenwerking, na die voorstelling Lamenta, en wat nou precies die traditie van die Griekse klaagliederen inhoudt.
Your collaboration is now for more or less 10 years. Your love is for more than 20 years. Please, could you introduce each other? So, Koen, what kind of person, choreographer, dancer is Rosalba?
I would say she is a person with a lot of temperament, a lot of humor, and she's very sensitive and also very generous. And that you can see also in her work. She has a very different background than me. I would consider her as a dancer who had an academic education, and I'm more the mover, the autodidact. And I think because of this, I think we complement each other very well in the work. She's more technically than me, I would say. I'm often busy with the structure, although we touch all the different parts of a creation, of course, but I would say she's more technically than me, and I'm maybe a bit more the dreamer. Something important in our way of working maybe is that we learned how to give each other space.
Like a free horse.
A wild horse.
A wild free horse, and very extremely generous and very interested in others' qualities, and really like trying to develop someone else's qualities and support them, and try to also like trigger different imagination. So this is a very, very strong point in his way of making a creation with others. Is very much like someone who gathers, someone who gives a lot of impulses, and And yeah, well, sometimes things work also very intuitively, and yeah, very rich images, influences, a bit rock and roll, and yeah.
And all the work of your company, of the Siamese company, you are celebrating diversity and cultural influences. Can you describe what all these crossovers mean to you?
I mean, personally, I come from two different cultures already. I'm French and Spanish. So yeah, since my young age, I have this double bill. And I was born in Switzerland, in Geneva, and it's a very international city. And at home, we had a lot of friends coming from all over the world. My parents had, yeah, always made very big meals with a lot of singing at the end, lots of from people who came from all over the world. So also my education is it was very, very mixed. So I had the conservatory with things very like ballet, jazz, modern, tap dancing. But then I took a lot of workshops in my education with African dance, Indian dance, so different type of modern, contemporary, jazz, Afro jazz, a lot. So already in my DNA as a dancer, it's there. I mean, the mix is there. The interest for other dance is there. It's very natural. And when I see a strong dance, I fall in love. So it's very natural.
I was born with the music of Coltrane and Miles Davis in the house. So my father was a jazz musician. So there was always a lot of jazz musicians rehearsing in our space. So that's probably something. My parents, they had also friends from Argentina. When I went to the local football club, there was one black guy joining us, and I was the first one to go and ask to him to play with me. So it's probably there has been my education always a curiosity towards the something which I don't know, something new, something else. So probably that was and that went on when I started to study history in Ghent, and then I started traveling the world because I had the idea to become a journalist, but finally I went somewhere else into dancing.
What was the starting point for the performance that we are going to see in Schietmacher, Lamenta?
Well, it has its origins also a little bit in the project we were touring before, the Palestinian project, Batke. At a certain moment, we were playing in Kalamata, which is an international dance festival in Greece. And I had already played there before with other pieces and gave workshops in Greece. So I have some friends, colleagues there. And there was one friend, colleague, Georgina Kakudaki, who said, after the performance, she was blown away. She says, "You have to come to Greece. We have this traditional dance in a different way, but there's nobody or not a lot of people or making a kind of like an exchange with contemporary dance or try to make a dialogue with a contemporary dance. So you have to come to Greece." So at a certain moment, we were in Crete. And we met a dancer there, Taxiarchis Vasilakis, yeah. And he was also mixing contemporary dance and traditional dance. And we talked with him, and he said, "Why don't you come to the north of Greece? My wife, she's a singer, and she organizes a festival there. It's a region called Epirus, which is close to Albania. So you have also the Balkan influence there." So I went in the summer there to this festival, and there was all these summer feasts and concerts in all the villages. And I saw all these people, all these young people and older people also. Mostly it's the older people who start to dance, and then the younger joining, dancing together. And I said, "Oh, I fell in love with this music." And so this Xantula Dakovani, the wife of this dancer, I asked her to be the musical director. She chose the musicians, and then we started first to make a kind of a selection of the music and a kind of musical dramaturgy in it. And then we went to Athens to record a whole disc with 15 songs, with 15 Myrolois. Not all are Myroloi, but most of them are.
And Rosalba, what fascinates you about the combination of these Greek lamentations and the traditional dances and the contemporary dances?
So also the interest was to find like a theme, like to provoke the creation. And for example, with Batke, with the Palestinian, we had really like the context of a wedding, even if we didn't have decors, but the spirit was around a wedding. And there, with this Myroloi and lamentation, also it came in a moment in our life where we also lost people, and where this sensation of lamentation is a real feeling. And really means something very true. And we thought, oh, maybe the same way that for with the Palestinian, when we came, you know, with this tradition to mainly north of Europe, where those traditions have been lost, local tradition, I mean, in this really strength. It's a bit folkloric, but it's not in the culture anymore. So it also allows us to make a contemporary creation from tradition, strong tradition, and to come to north of Europe and to show the strength that has in the culture such a dance, such a tradition. And so we thought that it was very relevant to go again into tradition and to use it to make a contemporary dance performance, and to bring this in the north of Europe also to show in a very personal way how a little community of 9 people on stage represent and live the process of grieving. And that was a stage in our life where it was interesting to deal with that subject.
So will Lamenta be a very sad performance about grieving and mourning?
Lamenta has, it's a lament, yes. So it's a group of people that come on stage, and they will not go out of the stage during the whole performance, and they will have a ritual to go through the grieving and to come back to life, because the same way we come from traditional music, and along the way of the performance we go to this nowadays music with a lot of energy. There's also a process of showing everyone's grief and everyone's lament, and then shifting. There's the maybe 20 last minutes. It's a way of coming back to life. So actually it's a lot of life, a lot of energy, a lot of exchange. It's very, very strong. And there's this sort of rise to come back to life, to come back to the joy of living and to celebrate the life. So also in tradition, all those laments are not so much for the dead. They are gone. They are there for the one who remain, for the living one. So I think it's also this, what we want to give with this performance is show that you can be sad and show the sorrow and help through to come back to the life.
Thank you very much. The combination of a wild horse, a dreamer, and a very energetic, multi-influenced choreographer like you, Rosalba and Koen, we are looking forward to see Lamenta in Schietmacher. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.